Want to work for Beyonce and JayZ? Staying in shape, being bilingual, and signing a strict nanny rulebook are just a few extreme rules they'll demand from you. Is the pay worth the stress? Decide for yourself while we go over all of this and more. Starting off with the no eye contact rule. Staff members are reportedly forbidden from making direct eye contact with Beyonce or JayZ. It was reported that when Beyonce was in Jamaica alongside her husband for a video shoot, the Jamaican staff that were hired for the shoot were deeply dismayed when they were instructed by Beyonce's management team that the rules included not looking at Beyonce. The hired staff were happy for the opportunity, but many said upon leaving the shoot, they were no longer fans of the singer. I'm not surprised. Next up, specific food requests. Beyonce allegedly demands a specific type of water with precisely 7.4 pH levels, and it was reported that she needed $900 worth of titanium drinking straws for it, and it had to be served at exactly 21 degrees. There is also a rule that Beyonce's chicken must be seasoned with garlic powder or she just won't eat it. She will only eat it if it's baked and seasoned with garlic powder, a little bit of salt, black pepper, and cayenne pepper. Now the trick, apparently, is to heavily season her chicken and only give her the breast, legs, and wings. Now, on the side of her plate, staff members also have to include some broccoli, spinach, and green beans. So this girl really loves her greens. Aside from her pH water, she will also only drink Pepsi products, which is probably why we've only seen her do Pepsi commercials. Staff also have to remember to make sure she has lemon wedges and hot tea. As long as the staff doesn't forget to chill half her water bottles, everything should be fine. Confidentiality agreements. This shouldn't really be a surprise as most celebrities will have this in place, but Beyonce and JayZ tell all their staff that they must be able to, quote unquote, keep a secret. All staff are required to sign NDAs to maintain the couple's privacy, and not following that rule could actually have very serious consequences. The staff are also not allowed to complain about their role or their personal life in any shape, way, or form. Now, JayZ has told employees and staff that while they are on the job, there is not to be any talk about their personal lives. While working, everything should remain strictly business. It was reported that he even said, "There's too much work to focus on and you'll never get anywhere by complaining." They have both made it very clear that they will cut you off immediately, staff, friend, or even family. Another strict rule in place for their staff is that staff members are not allowed to work with Kanye, being Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Now, a few years ago, drama ensued between JayZ and Kanye. The wives seem to somehow get in the mix too. Now, both rappers have been known to go back and forth at times, but up to this point, they had always mended their relationship. That is not exactly what happened here though. JayZ sees Kanye West as a younger brother, but once he crossed the line and brought Bey into it, Jay was not having it. Kanye got on stage during one of his performances and basically made a shout out to JayZ saying he should call him after all this time. Then he went further by calling out Beyonce for not performing beside him at the 2016 MTV Video Music Awards. Since then, the couple has had nothing to do with Kanye West and his wife, Kim Kardashian, well, ex-wife. Although Beyonce and Kim have never been friends, throughout the years, they've both been accused by the media of throwing shade at each other. When Kanye proposed to Kim Kardashian, the Carter family were nowhere in sight. Slowly, they began to separate themselves from Kanye, and they expect staff to do the same as well. Sometimes celebrity staff will work with multiple celebrities, and Beyonce and JayZ don't mind as long as it's not Kim and Kanye, or any other celebrities they may feud with. Another strict rule in place is that all staff must read and sign the ultimate nanny rulebook for their children. Beyonce has a specific rulebook that she makes each nanny read. By the way, there are 6 nannies for the twins and 2 for Blue when needed. This rulebook includes how she wants her children to be taken care of. Beyonce, of course, wrote the rulebook herself. Why would she follow anyone else's advice, right? A few of the rules and duties of the nannies include mowing their lawn, putting their purses on the floor, not countertops, which honestly would be a deal breaker for me because if you know anything about superstition, twins, you know that is like really bad luck. And also they have to take out the trash. Now, for the twins, each nanny works in a span of 8-hour shifts around the clock. When Blue Ivy was younger, she required 3 nannies as well, but now that she's older, they've employed 2 instead of 3. And to branch off of this, Blue Ivy must have 3 bodyguards for school, no questions asked. So Blue Ivy's entourage includes 2 drivers and 3 bodyguards. And when it comes to the twins, they are not allowed to nap to music. Beyonce feels the music, even if played quietly, could distract their sleep and cause them to have bad sleeping patterns. And speaking of nannies, another strict rule is the bilingual rule. All nannies have to be bilingual, preferably in French. Now, according to a source who's in with the Carter family, Beyonce and Jay have said that the nannies they employ have to be happy to travel the world with the Carters. I am mad at that, to be honest. I mean, who would be, right? And the other main stipulation, though, is that they have to be bilingual. This source said they want a French speaker for a number of reasons. The family have a real connection with France, and Beyonce's nephew Jules is a French speaker because his dad is French. Now, on Larry King Live back in 2007, before Blue Ivy was born, Beyonce was asked if she spoke another language since she recorded some songs in Spanish. Beyonce said, "I sure don't. I don't speak French either. I learned it phonetically and we took one sentence at a time. I just spoke the lyrics over and over and over again and then put the melody to it." Beyonce made it clear that she wants Blue, Rumi, and Sir to excel in life. So being bilingual is one of the dreams she has for all of her children. Now, another big rule is absolutely no photography. Staff members are not allowed to take photos of Beyonce, JayZ, or their children, whether they're at home or not. Beyonce has also restricted photography at her concerts and on her tours, including banning professional photographers and limiting the photos media outlets can actually use. Back in 2013, Beyonce banned professional photographers from her Mrs. Carter Show World Tour. Instead, her management company provided media outlets with a limited number of pre-approved photos taken by her tour photographer. Now, this led to news outlets relying on amateur and paparazzi photos, which were often taken from a distance and in very poor lighting. Some photographers have gone on the record to say that Beyonce's no photo policy is threatening the First Amendment, and the National Press Photographers Association had a problem with that, saying, "It seems these days everyone is trying to control their own content. Eventually, if you have all the artists doing this, everything is going to be more controlled and less free. The whole idea of photography is seeing is supposed to be believing." Of course, Beyonce nor any of her representatives responded when asked questions about the policy, and it's still unclear whether or not news outlets actually have to pay to use the 4 to 10 photos available after each of her shows. But let it be made very clear, not one of those photos of Beyonce will show even one hair out of place or even a blink in her eye, okay? So moving on, we have the workout rule. Now, Beyonce's staff are absolutely not allowed to bother her while she's working on her body. Beyonce's fitness routine was very demanding after she had the twins. As soon as her body healed up, it was off to the gym, sometimes 3 times a day. Now, a source told E! News that she did SoulCycle several times a week as soon as she got the clearance after her C-section. Now, she also worked out with a trainer at home doing cardio, intervals, and weights. Now, this source actually went on to explain all of her meals and diet were overseen by a private chef on staff who travels with them and prepares everything specifically for her. While Beyonce is busy getting her body back, her nannies are only allowed to bother her if it's an absolute emergency. If they bother her or disrupt her workout session, consequences could include a fine or worse, like dismissal. And to piggyback off of that last one, another strict rule is that all staff or their children must stay in shape since their kids have demanding schedules. Now, this one isn't very surprising, and this isn't a, discriminatory thing or anything like that. It's just a preference Beyonce has, knowing that the women pushing through crowds with her will have to be able to keep up. It's very common for nannies to go MIA due to health issues, and that is something Beyonce just can't have happen. It takes so much time to find, process, and acclimate a new hire, so it's best that each caretaker is in its prime or in their prime health. Now, though Beyonce has 6 nannies looking after Rumi and Sir, they are with her all day, so while she's busy, she can still be a part of what's happening. Anyone who isn't in tip-top shape or excellent health won't even be considered for the job. I mean, honestly, each nanny gets paid like a minimum of $100,000 a year. I would stay in shape for that kind of money too, am I right? On the topic of money, it's no secret the Carters have a lot in the bank, and while they pay their nannies and staff pretty well, it is reported, however, that bonus money must be earned. JayZ gave all of his employees $50,000 right before Christmas one year. But that's not all. JayZ also gave them Christmas gifts as well. Combined, it's even reported that throughout the year of 2013, the couple gave staff up to $4.6 million in bonus money and gifts. If they live the lavish life, of course, maybe they want their staff to be a part of that too. Now, Beyonce and JayZ have 80 employees across the board, so that's a lot of staff, so of course a lot of money too. But employees are, however, expected to follow every single one of the rules, no matter how ridiculous they may seem. If even one is not followed, you can expect to not get a bonus. You may not get canned or fired for it, but you won't get something extra around Christmas time or at the end of summer. Now, would you follow these extreme demands, or would you look for employment elsewhere? Let me know your thoughts. I'm your host, Ashley. It's been great catching up.